Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Everybody needs to drink water. People also use it for important daily activities such as cooking. Some sources say about 60 to 70% of the body weight is of water. This water is continually being lost from the body through urine, sweat, and other things. As a result, adequate amounts of water need to be consumed to survive and optimal amounts to thrive. My guest is a nutritionist and public relations officer at La Sena Water, and she's also an anesthetist, Dr. Genevieve Kalu. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with this. I think most people know that they need to drink water when they're thirsty. But some people say they don't get thirsty, so they hardly drink water. You see them, maybe taking soft drinks most of the time. You ask some people, they say, oh, they've not taken water for 2 days, 3 days. How is that possible? And why do they lose that thirst reflex? When you're thirsty, you drink water. Some people don't really feel thirsty like that. Is there a reason?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very important that everyone drinks water because water is life. And then it's difficult for human beings to survive, without water for at least for 7 days. So water is life. So when you are thirsty, if you want to wait until when you are thirsty before you drink water, being thirsty is a sign of dehydration. So you are meant to drink water all the time. For example, if I'm an average adult and my weight is about 70 kilograms, I am supposed to take at least 4 liters of water.
4 liters?
Yes, in a day.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I think WHO was saying, well, theirs was an approximate amount. They said like 2.7 to 3.7 liters every day for an average human being.
Yeah. Well, because medically we do the right calculation, even in pediatrics, for a child that is about 9 kilograms, that's a child that is close to 1 year, should be able to have at least 500 mils of water in a day. Now, if that child is about 18 kilograms, the child should be able to have, about 1 liter
every day.
Yes, in a day. So for adults, that is about 70 kilograms or 72 kilograms should have at least 4 liters per day. For those of us that are about there are some adults that are really 100 kilograms or 105. They should be able to take at least 5 liters per day. You are meant to take water according to your body weight.
Okay, according to body weight. How about diet? According to diet, according to what people eat.
You mean
whether they're heavy eaters or light eaters, that kind of thing?
Okay, depending on the water. It doesn't matter. You have to drink according to your body weight. That's the right way to drink water, according to your body weight. What
would be the symptoms of a person who is not taking enough water?
Oh, well, being thirsty is an early sign of dehydration.
Yeah,
although medically we have mild, moderate, and severe dehydration. So when you are severely dehydrated, maybe because you're not drinking enough water, some of them will go to the level of having what we call sunken eyes. The eyes will go inside, and then somebody will look at you and say, you're losing weight.
Like people who have cholera, they have those kind of eyes.
Exactly. For people, for some children that even have cholera can kill in 4 hours. And most of the important reasons why, when you are dehydrated and you're losing a lot of water, because there are minerals in the water in our body that we are losing, the sodium and then the potassium. When you lose them a lot, you go into what we call metabolic acidosis. And this is what usually, cause them to be having respiratory difficulties and they can die. So severe dehydration can lead to death.
Oh. And you mentioned 7 days.
Yeah.
So a person actually has a period, should I say a period of grace by which they can redeem themselves by drinking water. But 7 days is like,
No, I think even medically I have not seen someone who has survived after 7 days without water. When you hear that people died in the desert, it's simply because of severe dehydration. Like some of us that we are Christians and we say we want to do fasting. I've tried to do fasting for 3 days and I know that on the 3rd day without water, I was becoming very speechless. You can't hear my voice any longer. There was this total weakness that I can't speak.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's true. So by the second day or the third day, you're going to be so weak. And that is why when you see patients with severe dehydration, the moment they get into the hospital, we first of all set an IV infusion and start rehydrating them. So that's what we usually do. So it is not even right to stay without water for like 6 hours. So because water is life.
There are some people who tell you that they can't drink water. They can't drink much water because it makes them feel nauseous. They want to throw up. They want to vomit. What kind of advice would you give those kind of people? How do they get to the point where they can actually drink enough?
All right. I know that medically, when people are seriously obese, your BMI is so much. When fat is occupying the space of water, like an adult, we are 70%. Our body weight is about 70% water. So when you are obese and then the fat is occupying the space of water, it will be difficult for them to be drinking water because the fat. So the easiest way is for them to try to burn the fat down. Okay. And this is why, for example, when you get to the gym, you see them, having some aerobics, they are sweating. They tend to start drinking water because the fat is being broken down, and then water has to really occupy the space that it's supposed to occupy.
And that will encourage them to take more water.
Yes.
Okay. They tell us that water flushes out toxins.
In our body.
It flushes out, bad things from the body. What are some of these things that are being flushed out?
All right. For example, the kidney. At least for an average adult, the kidney needs about 3 liters in a day to flush out toxins from our body.
Are you saying that if somebody takes maybe 500 mils of water a day, half a liter, the person is doing an injustice to their kidneys?
Yes, you're doing an injustice. You're just punishing the kidney because the kidney needs at least 3 liters to flush out toxins in the body for an average adult. So because some adults, in Nigeria, some adults will go on and ease themselves and they will say that their urine is yellow. And then when they say their urine is yellow, they will just come up that they have malaria. Your urine being yellow is not a sign of malaria. It's a sign of dehydration. So you need to take a lot of water, when you see that you're passing urine and it's very yellow. So you need to drink because the kidney actually need water to flush out the toxins. The toxins are much. We have so many of us consuming heavy metals from our diet, like arsenic acid, mercury, some lead. So the kidney has to it's like our flushing system in the body. It has to flush it out.
Lead?
Yes.
How does lead get into the body? At least I know that is dangerous. Arsenic is a poison.
Yes, yes. Some of us have water that are contaminated with lead. Yeah, you can have, maybe, I don't know, borehole that is already contaminated with lead, and then when you're drinking the water, lead is already inside of it. And then some of us have cooking pots that has lead. So if you use a lead-containing cooking pots to cook, you can have lead escaping into your diet, and then so you can have lead poisoning.
And so water is the only solution to flush that out.
Exactly. That's why we say water is life. It's just like the flowers. Your flowers, if you don't give them water, they will continue to die off. Even when you use the soapy water from your washing machine to put on your flowers, the green grass will die. So even the grass cannot survive.
I'm laughing because people have a habit of washing all sorts of stuff into their flower beds and their grass beds. Just, dirty water, pour it into the flower pots, or just, throw that water there. And people do that all the time.
It's a very bad habit. Even when we have the natural rainfall, if we have an acidic rain, the people into agriculture will tell you that once there is an acidic rain, when acidic rain falls, their vegetables die off.
Oh, okay.
So acidic rain also destroy a forest or destroy your agricultural products in their farm. So when you go and meet them, they will tell you that the rain that is falling is just like an acidic rain. So it disturbs even the green vegetables. Talk more of man.
Okay, so that brings me to the next point.
Yeah.
People say it's not just water that you should take, but the water has to be alkaline.
Yes.
Now, what is that?
All right. The water, we are not meant to drink acidic water. The natural body pH at birth, when we are born, till we are even up to 28 years, the pH is 7.78. We're talking about the fluid. When you talk about pH, you're talking about pH simply means the potential of hydrogen. Okay. So when you talk about pH in chemistry, you're talking about the level of acidity and then the level of alkalinity.
The smaller numbers means acidic.
Exactly.
And the bigger numbers is more alkaline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for those of us, for example, the skin, the body pH of the skin is 5.5.
Okay. That's just a little bit into alkaline.
Acidic.
Acidic.
From 0 to less than 7 is acidic.
Okay.
Then 7 is neutral. Okay. Then 7 and above to 14 is a scale of 1 to 14 is alkaline. And then there is a particular pH you should drink. When we say alkaline, we are not saying you should go and drink 11. pH 11 is not good for our health. So we are talking about a pH of 7.7, which is the
But a lot of people, most people don't have a clue what pH means. So how do they select the kind of water they should drink?
For example, in Nigeria, if you go to a shopping mall and then, there is this say that Nigerians don't really look at the labels, of what they want to buy. But, in developed country, you look at labels. So I will advise that when you want to buy your water in Nigeria, take up the water and look at the pH.
What was that pH you said again?
7.7 is fine.
Okay. Then
for adults, when you are growing up after 28 years, your pH, medicine said our pH of the blood should be at least 7.365. Okay. So we have an approximation of 7.4. So we accept 7.7, we accept 7.4 because that's the right
And they
pH.
write these things on the bottles of water?
Yes, on the bottles of water. There are waters in Nigeria that has the right pH. So there are waters that have the right pH of 7.7. And one of the secrets of longevity is to maintain our pH and our body temperature. Nigerians tend to overlook the pH and look at the temperature. Our normal body temperature is 37. And then when it shoots up from 37 to maybe 38, you will run a fever. And then you will run to the doctor. Even for the children, when it gets to 40, some of them convulse to tell you that the body organs cannot cope with the high rise in the temperature. So our temperature and our body pH is very important. For us, that we are Christians, our days should be 120 years. And you can comfortably live that 120 years in Nigeria if you watch the type of food you eat and the type of water you drink. So for example, if you eat a lot of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, underline the word fresh.
Going back to the land.
Going back to the land. Even lime and lemon, they will make you alkaline. So, but 70% of our body weight is water. So if you pay attention to the pH of the type of water you drink, longevity is very, very fine. So then you look at the 25% of your body, which is other things. So if you can look at your diet, our diet is very important. So if you eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, it makes you alkaline because that is the way God programmed the body. So when you are alkaline, you are going to more or less live a very healthy life.
So it's something you can do naturally. You don't have to you don't have to be so smart or go to school to know what kind of water to take.
Yeah.
All right. That makes it a lot easier for us.
Yes.
There's this other thing. What really is this artesian water about? What is artesian water?
Yes. Artesian is a word that came from a city in France called Athos. Athos is a city that was where one of the artesian, let me use the word aquifer because it was a misconception of the word.
Okay.
So there is a city in France called Athos. That was where one of the aquifer was discovered in 1126th century. So the word artesian came from that city, Athos. It's like water was discovered in Lagos in 1126th century, and they call it Lagosian water.
Okay,
so even if that water is now that type of water, if seen in Ghana, you said Lagosian water.
But what really is this water? You'll answer after the break. We're going on a break right now. Just stay with us and learn about this artesian water when we come back after now. Welcome back. We're talking about water. Who can't talk about water? Everybody needs it. Now, if you want to ask a question about water, the number to call is 0808 054 2233. Again, that's 0808 054 2233. You can also tweet at CTV_Mary A. And before I get back to what we were talking about, I am Dolly has sent a question by Twitter and saying, is there anything like an overdose of water, like drinking too much?
Well, if you say that there is an overdose, there is no overdose of drinking water, because the moment you're taking water, like for example, if you're taking some fruits, they stay in the stomach for like 40 minutes. Some foods stay like 1 hour, some stay like 2 hours. But for water, as you're taking it, the metabolism is going on very fast.
Okay.
Yes.
So it will be very difficult to have an overdose of water. Okay, so that's your answer for you. I am Dolly. We were talking about the artesian water. Where does it come from? Why is it so different?
Oh, fine, thank you. Artesian water came from, for those of them that did geography, it came from an underground well built by God called an aquifer. But in the whole world, we have about 30 aquifers. Presently in Nigeria, we have only one aquifer.
Ooh, we have one in Nigeria.
We have one in Nigeria now. And then we have, in the whole of Africa, we have 3. One in Nigeria that was discovered in 2009, and then one was discovered in Namibia in 1975. Another one was discovered in Kenya by UNESCO.
What's special about this water?
What is special about this water? Number one is coming from an aquifer. Then number two, most of this water, they are mineralized. They contain minerals, and they have the right pH.
Okay.
So the one we have in Nigeria has the right pH of 7.78, which is nice. And then we also have international ones. We have one in Australia. This is the biggest in the world. It's about 1,700,000 square meters. It covers about 21% of the whole of Australia. And then it's coming out of a natural temperature of 100 degrees. The one we have in Nigeria...
water comes out at boiling point?
Yes, it comes out at boiling points in Australia at a depth of 3,000 meters.
Wow.
But here in Nigeria, the one we have is coming at 522 meters at a minimum temperature of 70 degrees with the same pH of 7.78, and then contains minerals that are good for the human body.
Is this the best type of water for us?
Yes, it is the best.
Even though it comes out hot?
Yes, it is the best type of water for us to drink because it had the right minerals and came out with the right pH. That's the most important thing.
All right.
Yes.
Let's talk to AGK, who's on the phone right now. Hello, AGK. What's your question? Hello, AGK, are you there? Oh, we lost AGK. Try again. Try again. All right. So it comes out this way,
yes,
and it can be drunk this way.
Yes, and then you can also allow it to cool down. Sometimes it takes about 72 hours for the water to cool down, and then you bottle at fresh.
Okay, so how is it pumped up?
It's coming out with natural pressure. It's coming by itself. There is no pumping machine that can pump such temperature. So there's what we call hydrostatic pressure, all the way from 522 meters. So the water is coming by itself. The one in...
Sounds like a dream.
It sounds like a dream, but it's a place to behold in Nigeria. Then the one in France, is coming out since the 1126th century. And it's coming with a natural pressure. And it's still flowing till today.
Oh, how does that happen? I mean, how does water flow from the same spot for 100 and upwards years?
Yeah, because it's coming naturally with that pressure. So it's like, when you shake a bottle of champagne and then you want to pump it up, when you open it, you see the way the champagne flows. So it's the pressure that you give the champagne that is making the liquid in the champagne to flow that way. So that's exactly what is happening.
Okay, 2 quick questions. How does everybody get access to this water, and how long is it going to last?
All right, for the one we have in Nigeria, it's going to last, for as long as the earth remains. I will say that, because
is this a scientific fact?
No, it's not. But the one in Saudi Arabia is a cold aquifer. Some people that travel to Saudi, they will tell you about Zamzam water.
Okay.
For the people that live in the US, they will tell you about Avian water. So the one in France has been flowing since 1126th century, although The one in Kenya, I think, is going to run for like 75 years because it's a concealed aquifer. But the one in Nigeria is unconcealed flowing aquifer. So that's depth unknown, and that is why it will flow for a very long time.
All right. Godwin is asking, does drinking water, too much water, make people fat? And before you answer, Godwin, I heard that drinking water helps you slim down. So please, clarify for us.
I don't do the scientific basis of saying that drinking water make you fat. No. Because you burn, water is just immediately, it goes out of your body. It's the food you're eating or your lifestyle stress that can make you to accumulate to be fat. Drinking of water does not make you to be fat.
Okay, but can it be used as a tool to lose weight?
Yes, you can drink water. Like on my phone, I have
that drinking water app.
Yes, I have an app that tells me when to drink water. It's just that I can't, I was not allowed to bring water here to drink.
Okay.
I'm already getting thirsty right now.
Don't worry, we'll handle that after the show. We'll go drink water together. All right, so Ruth is asking, what problems are caused if you don't take alkaline water? So what happens to the body?
Oh, fine. Most of the degenerative diseases, for example, the cancers, they flourish in acidic environments. But if you can alkalize your body, okay, cancer cells, they find it difficult to survive in an alkaline environment of such pH. And then for some people, like the sicklers, you know, they sickle during acidosis. But when they are alkalized, so if you have a sickler who eats a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and drink a water that has a pH of 7.7, so they hardly sickle at that pH.
So but no crisis.
No crisis. But when they are acidotic, you know, when the blood is there is metabolic acidosis, they can sickle.
Okay, now, this is huge.
Yes.
Has this been scientifically proved? I mean about the cancer, because I heard the big C there, that cancer cells will not thrive in an alkaline environment.
Yes. There is a doctor that won a World Nobel Prize. His name is Dr. Otto Warburg. I'm sure they can Google and find out. He was the one that, you know, first discovered, you know, that cancer cells cannot survive in an alkaline environment.
So what we have here then is a natural answer to cancer, is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is that the most important for you to live a good health is good for you to keep your pH at 7.7. Maintain your blood pH.
At least that's something to go on,
yes.
You know, for good health and maybe keeping cancer at bay.
No, just living a good, keeping your pH at that level, you know, gives you, you know, a way to have a healthy lifestyle.
We have Boniface on the line. Hello, Boniface.
Yes.
Good. We hear you, Boniface. What's your question?
All right. My question is this. I learned that early morning water helps a lot. And if you are talking of early morning water, when exactly is the early morning? Is it okay, my dear madam?
I hear you. Thank you for that question. I think we've got the meat of it. Early morning water. He says people say it's healthy. Is it? And then what time are you calling early morning?
Well, early morning, immediately you wake up from bed, it's very important you take at least 1 liter or glass of water. And then in less than 10 minutes, for those of them that has been practicing that, you will notice that you will quickly run to the toilet to ease yourself. So you're emptying the bowel, you're allowing the colons to be cleansed. So early morning water is very, very good.
Okay. Ruth is asking further, what can disrupt the body pH and how can you maintain the body pH? Of course, I know that you can maintain by water, but don't answer that yet. Let's talk to Chooks. Chooks is on the line. Hello, Chooks, from Abuja.
Hello.
Hello. What's your question?
Hello.
We can hear you. Go on with your question.
Okay. What I want to know is that if the issue of drinking water, is there any time that you must have taken too much water for that it could be seen to be said that you are having taking too much water? Maybe you should calm down, or you can drink as much as you can take. That is one.
Okay.
Then what do you mean by pH? What do you mean by pH?
Okay, thank you,
What
Chooks.
is
We'll
pH?
put that to the doctor. Concerning taking too much water, maybe I should put some figures to it. What if you say a person should take like 4 liters a day?
For 70 kg man.
So if I'm a 70 kg man and I decide to take 8 liters, isn't that too much?
The kidney out of that is going to use like 3 liters. Even in breathing, as I'm talking with you now and I'm breathing, in a day I will lose 700 mils of water. Sweating, what about activities? You sweating, you trek, you walk, you do so many things, you lose water by sweating. So, and then you have to be replacing, the water you drink.
All right.
Now the pH...
Doctor, I'm sorry, you can't answer the pH one. Okay. I'm going to have to stop you. People really got in on this one. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Kalu. It's been wonderful having you.
Thank you.
And thank you for calling, all of you who called, and the person who didn't quite get through. Let's try it again next week. Have a lovely day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.
Thank you. Hope you will.